There is a quiet kind of success that the world rarely celebrates. It cannot be measured by the size of a house, the balance in a bank account, the number of followers on social media, or the applause that comes from strangers. It is not displayed in trophies, titles, or expensive possessions. It lives within you. It is the ability to wake up each morning with a calm mind, to go to sleep each night without carrying the weight of bitterness, and to walk through life without allowing every opinion, disappointment, or conflict to steal your joy. Your peace is your greatest achievement because once you truly possess it, nothing outside of you has the power to define the quality of your life. Many people spend years chasing success, believing that one more promotion, one more accomplishment, or one more approval will finally make them feel complete. Yet they reach those milestones only to discover that peace cannot be purchased or earned through external rewards. It is created from within. It is built every time you choose understanding over anger, patience over frustration, and wisdom over unnecessary conflict. Peace is not something you find after life becomes easy. Peace is something you create while life is still challenging. Think about how much energy is wasted every single day. People argue over opinions that will never change. They replay conversations in their minds long after they are over. They worry about what someone said, what someone thinks, or whether everyone approves of them. They carry resentment like a heavy backpack, believing that holding on to anger somehow protects them. In reality, it only drains them. Every moment spent feeding unnecessary negativity is a moment stolen from your happiness. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the decision to stop carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every criticism deserves a response. Not every disagreement requires a debate. There's incredible strength in knowing when to walk away. Walking away is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is recognizing that your emotional energy is valuable and that spending it on constant battles leaves little room for growth, love, creativity, and purpose. Every time you refuse to be pulled into unnecessary drama, you are making a powerful investment in your own well-being. Protecting your peace also means accepting that you cannot control everything. You cannot control how people speak to you, how they judge you, or how they misunderstand your intentions. You cannot force kindness into someone who chooses cruelty, or honesty into someone committed to deception. But you can always control how much space those people occupy in your heart and mind. You have the power to decide whether their actions become your burden or remain their responsibility. That choice belongs entirely to you. There will always be people who doubt you, criticize you, or fail to appreciate your value. If you spend your life trying to convince everyone that you are worthy, you will never have time to actually live. Your worth has never depended on someone else's opinion. It was never created by praise, and it cannot be destroyed by criticism. When you truly understand this, you stop chasing validation and begin building confidence from within. You no longer need permission to believe in yourself because your confidence comes from knowing who you are, not from hearing who others think you should be. Peace also requires forgiveness, not because the people who hurt you deserve another chance, but because you deserve freedom. Holding on to resentment keeps you connected to painful moments that no longer serve your future. Forgiveness does not erase what happened, and it does not excuse harmful behavior. It simply means you refuse to let yesterday continue controlling today. You choose healing over bitterness, growth over revenge, and freedom over emotional imprisonment. As you continue your journey through life, remember that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. Every calm decision you make, every unnecessary argument you avoid, every negative voice you choose not to believe, and every difficult situation you rise above, strengthens the person you are becoming. Real achievement is not living a life without problems. Real achievement is becoming someone whose inner peace remains stronger than life's outer chaos. When your peace becomes your priority, your life begins to change in ways that success alone could never accomplish. One of the most liberating truths you will ever discover is that you cannot control other people, but you can always control yourself. This realization has the power to transform your relationships, your emotions, and the direction of your life. Many of the frustrations, disappointments, and heartaches people experience come from trying to change someone who has no intention of changing. They spend years hoping that another person will become more understanding, more respectful, more honest, or more supportive. They exhaust themselves trying to fix attitudes, influence decisions, and earn appreciation. Yet, no matter how much effort they invest, they eventually learn that every human being has the freedom to choose their own actions. The only person you truly have authority over is the one you see in the mirror every day. Life becomes much lighter when you stop carrying responsibilities that were never yours. You are not responsible for someone else's attitude, their mood, or the choices they make. You cannot force kindness into a heart that chooses bitterness. You cannot make someone value honesty if they are comfortable with deception. You cannot convince every person to understand your intentions because people often see the world through the lens of their own experiences, fears, and beliefs. What they think about you is shaped more by their perspective than by your reality. Once you understand this, you stop wasting precious energy trying to control what has never been within your reach. Every day you will encounter people who disagree with you, criticize you, misunderstand you, or even treat you unfairly. Your first instinct may be to defend yourself, explain your actions, or prove them wrong. Sometimes that is appropriate, but often it is unnecessary. Not every misunderstanding needs clarification, and not every accusation deserves a response. There is a quiet strength in allowing people to hold opinions that do not define who you are. Your character is revealed by the way you live, not by the arguments you win. The need to constantly defend yourself only gives more power to voices that should never control your peace. Your greatest power is found in your response. Between what happens to you and how you react, there is a space. In that space lies your freedom. You may not control the storm, but you can decide whether you will panic or remain steady. You may not control harsh words, but you can choose whether they become wounds or lessons. You may not control rejection, disappointment, or betrayal, but you can decide whether those experiences make you bitter or wiser. Your response shapes your future far more than the circumstances themselves. Emotional maturity begins when you stop asking, "Why are they doing this to me?" and start asking, "How do I want to respond?" That simple shift changes everything. Instead of becoming trapped by anger, you become guided by wisdom. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, breathe, and choose a response that reflects your values rather than your emotions. Self-control is not about suppressing your feelings. It is about refusing to let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. It is choosing dignity over drama, patience over impulse, and understanding over revenge. There will always be people who test your patience. Some will try to provoke you. Others will underestimate you, criticize your dreams, or question your worth. If you allow every opinion to control your emotions, you surrender your peace to strangers. Imagine handing the keys to your happiness to everyone you meet. That is exactly what happens when you let other people's behavior determine your state of mind. The stronger path is to keep those keys in your own hands. Your peace should never depend on whether someone else chooses kindness or criticism. Learning to control yourself also means taking responsibility for your own growth. Instead of blaming others for every setback, ask what you can learn from the experience. Instead of focusing on what someone failed to do, focus on what you can do differently. Growth begins the moment you stop pointing outward and start looking inward. This is not about accepting mistreatment or remaining silent in the face of injustice. It is about recognizing that your greatest influence is over your own thoughts, choices, habits, and character. Those are the areas where real transformation begins. As you continue through life, remember that people will always act according to their own level of awareness, values, and understanding. You cannot rewrite another person's story, but you can choose how your own story unfolds. Every calm response, every wise decision, every moment of patience, and every act of self-discipline strengthens your character. True freedom is not controlling everyone around you. True freedom is mastering yourself so completely that no person's behavior can steal your joy, shake your confidence, or disturb your inner peace. When you learn to govern your own mind and heart, you discover a strength that no outside force can ever take away. Every challenge that enters your life arrives with a purpose, even if that purpose is not immediately clear. It is easy to celebrate the moments when everything is going according to plan, when opportunities are abundant, relationships are healthy, and life feels comfortable. However, it is during the difficult seasons that your true character is shaped. Challenges are not simply obstacles standing in your way. They are lessons preparing you for a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Every setback, disappointment, failure, and unexpected change carries within it the opportunity to develop qualities that comfort alone could never teach. If life never tested you, you would never discover how strong you truly are. Think about the strongest trees in a forest. They do not become strong because the weather is always calm. They grow deep roots because they have survived countless storms. Every powerful wind forces them to hold on more firmly. Every season teaches them to adapt, and every challenge makes them more capable of standing tall. Human beings are no different. Your struggles are strengthening roots that cannot be seen today, but they will support your future when even greater responsibilities come your way. What feels heavy now may be preparing you for opportunities that require a stronger heart and a steadier mind. Many people believe that successful individuals were simply lucky or naturally gifted. They often see the achievements but never the sacrifices, the discipline, the sleepless nights, the painful failures, or the countless moments of self-doubt that came before success. Every inspiring story is built upon invisible battles. Behind every confident person is someone who once questioned themselves. Behind every calm leader is someone who learned to stay steady during chaos. Behind every wise decision is a lesson earned through mistakes. Challenges are not signs that you are failing. They are evidence that life is giving you the chance to grow. There will be moments when people disappoint you. Friends may leave, opportunities may disappear, plans may collapse, and doors you expected to open may remain firmly closed. In those moments, it is tempting to believe that life is working against you. Yet many times what feels like rejection is actually redirection. Sometimes the path you wanted was too small for the person you were becoming. Sometimes losing something creates space for something greater to enter your life. The challenge is not to understand every setback immediately. The challenge is to trust that every experience is teaching you something valuable, even before you can see the full picture. Pain has a remarkable ability to reveal what comfort often hides. Difficult moments expose your fears, your habits, your weaknesses, and your strengths. They force you to confront the parts of yourself that need healing and improvement. This process is not easy, but it is necessary. Growth rarely feels comfortable because it requires leaving behind old beliefs, unhealthy patterns, and limiting thoughts. Every challenge invites you to become more patient, more courageous, more compassionate, and more disciplined than you were yesterday. One of the greatest mistakes people make is asking, "Why is this happening to me?" A more powerful question is, "What is this trying to teach me?" That simple shift transforms every obstacle into a classroom. Instead of becoming trapped by frustration, you become curious. Instead of seeing failure as the end of your journey, you begin to see it as valuable feedback. Every mistake teaches a lesson. Every disappointment reveals a truth. Every delay develops patience. Every hardship strengthens endurance. Life is constantly teaching those who are willing to learn. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are the ones who continue standing up after every fall. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you build through repeated challenges. Every time you recover from disappointment, you become emotionally stronger. Every time you choose hope instead of despair, you expand your inner strength. Every time you refuse to give up, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you once believed. Confidence is not built by avoiding difficulties. It is built by overcoming them one step at a time. There will always be moments when progress feels slow. You may wonder whether your efforts are making any difference. During those times, remember that growth often happens quietly. Just as a seed grows beneath the soil long before anyone sees a plant, your character is developing beneath the surface through every challenge you face. Even when you cannot see immediate results, your patience, discipline, and perseverance are becoming stronger. The lessons you are learning today will become the wisdom you rely on tomorrow. Never allow temporary struggles to convince you that your future has been decided. One difficult season does not define your entire life. One mistake does not erase your potential. One failure does not determine your destiny. Every sunrise reminds us that darkness is temporary. Every challenge reminds us that transformation is possible. The person you are becoming is being shaped by every obstacle you choose to face with courage instead of fear. As you continue your journey, welcome challenges with a different mindset. Do not see them as punishments, but as preparation. Do not see them as barriers, but as building blocks. Every difficult conversation teaches communication. Every setback teaches resilience. Every disappointment teaches perspective. Every obstacle teaches strength. Life is not trying to break you. Life is training you. Every challenge is shaping your character, sharpening your wisdom, deepening your faith in yourself, and preparing you for the future that only a stronger version of you can handle. When you embrace that truth, you stop fearing difficulties, and you begin to appreciate them as the greatest teachers you will ever have. One of the greatest freedoms you can ever experience is the moment you stop seeking validation from other people. For much of life, many people unknowingly allow their happiness to depend on the opinions, approval, and acceptance of those around them. They constantly wonder if they are good enough, successful enough, attractive enough, intelligent enough, or worthy enough. They shape their choices to fit expectations, silence their true voice to avoid criticism, and chase applause instead of purpose. Yet no amount of external approval can fill the emptiness that comes from not believing in yourself. The day you stop looking for permission to be who you are is the day you begin to live with genuine confidence and peace. From an early age, many of us are taught to seek approval. We are praised for good grades, rewarded for good behavior, and encouraged to meet the expectations of others. While encouragement can be valuable, it often creates a habit of believing that our worth depends on how others respond to us. As adults, this habit quietly follows us into our careers, relationships, and personal goals. We begin measuring our value by compliments, promotions, likes on social media, or recognition from people around us. The problem is that approval is temporary. It changes with opinions, trends, moods, and circumstances. If your confidence depends on something that constantly changes, your confidence will never remain stable. The truth is that not everyone will understand your journey, and they do not have to. People see life through the lens of their own experiences, beliefs, fears, and limitations. Some will admire your ambition, while others will question it. Some will celebrate your success, while others may feel threatened by it. Some will appreciate your kindness, while others may mistake it for weakness. You cannot control how people interpret your actions. Their opinions are reflections of their own perspective, not accurate measurements of your value. Once you understand this, you stop giving strangers the authority to define your identity. There will always be someone who disagrees with your decisions. No matter how kind, honest, or hardworking you are, criticism is unavoidable. If you spend your life trying to satisfy everyone, you will eventually lose yourself. Trying to please every person is like trying to hold water in your hands. The harder you try, the more exhausted you become. Instead of asking whether everyone approves of your choices, ask yourself whether your choices align with your values. Living according to your principles brings a satisfaction that no amount of applause can replace. True confidence is built in private, not in public. It grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. It grows when you continue working even when no one is watching. It grows when you remain honest, even if dishonesty would be easier. It grows when you choose discipline instead of comfort, and integrity instead of popularity. These quiet decisions shape your character far more than public recognition ever could. Real confidence is not loud. It does not need constant attention or endless compliments. It is calm, steady, and rooted in self-respect. Social media has made the search for validation even more powerful. Many people measure their happiness by numbers on a screen. They wait for likes, comments, shares, and praise to feel worthy. While there is nothing wrong with enjoying encouragement, it becomes dangerous when your emotional well-being depends on digital approval. 1,000 compliments cannot create lasting confidence if you secretly doubt yourself. At the same time, one negative comment should never have the power to erase everything you know about your own character. Your value has never been determined by public opinion. It is determined by the person you choose to become every single day. Learning to stop seeking validation also means becoming comfortable with being misunderstood. Sometimes people will judge you without knowing your story. They will make assumptions without understanding your intentions. They may criticize decisions they have never had the courage to make themselves. You do not need to spend your life explaining yourself to everyone. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you, no matter how clearly you speak. Instead of wasting energy trying to change every opinion, invest that energy in living a life that reflects your truth. Time has a way of revealing character more clearly than arguments ever will. The strongest people are not those who receive the most praise. They are the ones who continue doing what is right even when no one notices. They understand that success is not measured by popularity, but by purpose. They do not allow compliments to inflate their ego, and they do not allow criticism to destroy their confidence. They remain grounded because their identity comes from within, not from the changing opinions of the world around them. That kind of inner security cannot be taken away because it was never given by anyone else. As you move forward in life, remember that your worth is not something you earn through approval. It is something you recognize within yourself. Stop waiting for everyone to believe in you before you believe in yourself. Stop asking for permission to pursue your dreams, express your voice, or become the person you were created to be. The people who truly matter will respect your authenticity, and those who do not were never meant to determine your path. Walk with quiet confidence, trust your values, honor your purpose, and let your actions speak louder than your need for recognition. The moment you stop seeking validation from the outside, you begin discovering the unshakable strength that has always existed within you. Your confidence becomes deeper, your decisions become clearer, and your life becomes guided by purpose instead of approval. That is where true freedom begins, and that is where lasting peace is found. The world around you will never be completely quiet. Every day there will be opinions demanding your attention, headlines trying to provoke your emotions, voices telling you who you should become, and distractions competing for every moment of your focus. If you allow all of that noise to enter your mind without limits, you will slowly lose the ability to hear the most important voice of all, your own. This is why learning to live from inner peace instead of outer noise is one of the greatest skills you can develop. A peaceful mind is not created by escaping the world. It is created by refusing to let the world control your thoughts, your emotions, and your decisions. Many people spend their lives reacting instead of living. They react to criticism. They react to gossip. They react to social media. They react to disappointment. And they react to every unexpected situation that crosses their path. As a result, their emotional state changes constantly. One compliment makes them feel valuable, while one criticism makes them question everything. One success fills them with confidence, while one failure leaves them discouraged. They become prisoners of circumstances because they have allowed the outside world to dictate what happens inside them. True peace begins when you decide that your inner world will no longer be controlled by external events. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you allow to grow there will eventually shape your life. If you constantly feed it fear, comparison, anger, and negativity, those emotions will eventually become your reality. However, if you intentionally plant gratitude, patience, wisdom, and hope, your thoughts will begin producing a life filled with strength and clarity. Every day you are choosing what enters your mind through the conversations you entertain, the content you consume, and the people you spend time with. Those choices matter more than you may realize. Protecting your peace begins with protecting your attention. There will always be people who want to draw you into unnecessary conflict. Some enjoy creating drama because they have not learned how to create peace. Others criticize because they are uncomfortable with someone else's growth. Some spread negativity simply because they carry it within themselves. You do not have to participate in every argument you are invited into. You do not have to respond to every insult or defend yourself against every misunderstanding. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence. Silence is not surrender. Silence is confidence that no longer feels the need to prove itself. It is knowing that your peace is worth more than winning an argument that changes nothing. Comparison is another form of outer noise that quietly steals inner peace. It convinces you that someone else's success somehow diminishes your own. It encourages you to measure your progress against people whose journeys are completely different from yours. Every person has a unique path, a unique timeline, and unique challenges. Looking constantly at someone else's life distracts you from building your own. The energy spent comparing could be invested in growing. Instead of asking why someone else is ahead, ask how you can become a better version of yourself today. Progress becomes meaningful when you compete with who you were yesterday, not with who someone else appears to be today. Living from inner peace also means becoming comfortable with uncertainty. Life will never provide guarantees about tomorrow. Plans may change, unexpected challenges may arise, and doors you expected to open may remain closed. If your peace depends on everything unfolding exactly as you planned, you will spend much of your life feeling anxious. Peace grows when you learn to trust yourself regardless of circumstances. You begin believing that no matter what happens, you have the strength, wisdom, and resilience to face it. Confidence is not believing that life will always be easy. Confidence is believing that you will continue moving forward even when life becomes difficult. One of the greatest habits you can develop is creating moments of stillness. In a world that constantly encourages more speed, more information, and more distractions, stillness becomes a source of strength. When you pause, breathe, reflect, and listen to your own thoughts, you reconnect with what truly matters. You begin making decisions based on wisdom instead of pressure. You stop allowing urgency to replace clarity. Many of life's greatest answers do not arrive during chaos. They arrive during quiet moments when your mind is finally calm enough to recognize them. Inner peace also requires letting go of what you cannot carry forever. You cannot continue moving forward while holding on to every disappointment, every regret, every painful memory, and every unfair experience. The weight becomes too heavy. Letting go does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means choosing not to allow yesterday's pain to control today's possibilities. Every time you release resentment, fear, or unnecessary worry, you create more space for joy, gratitude, and hope. A peaceful heart is not one that has never been hurt. It is one that has learned how to heal. There will always be noise around you. There will always be opinions, distractions, temptations, criticism, and uncertainty. None of those things can be completely eliminated. What can change is the way you respond to them. You have the ability to choose calm over chaos, patience over panic, understanding over anger, and purpose over distraction. Those choices shape the quality of your life far more than any outside circumstance ever could. As you continue your journey, remember that your greatest strength is not found in controlling the world around you. It is found in mastering the world within you. Guard your thoughts with wisdom. Protect your attention with intention. Choose your battles carefully. Spend your energy on growth instead of conflict. Walk away from unnecessary drama without guilt. Trust your values even when others disagree. Build a life that is guided by purpose rather than public opinion. When your heart is anchored in peace, the noise of the world loses its power over you. You become calmer in difficult moments, wiser in important decisions, stronger through every challenge, and freer than you ever imagined. That is the quiet power of living from inner peace instead of outer noise, and it is a power that no circumstance, no criticism, and no storm can ever take away. As we come to the end of this journey together, remember that becoming unbothered does not mean you stop caring. It means you start caring about the right things. It means you stop giving your energy to temporary distractions, unnecessary arguments, and opinions that do not define your life. It means you choose peace over proving yourself, growth over resentment, and wisdom over reaction. Every day you will be faced with situations that test your patience, challenge your confidence, and invite you into unnecessary conflict. In those moments, remember that your greatest strength is not found in how loudly you react, but in how calmly you respond. Train your mind to remain steady when life becomes uncertain. Train your heart to let go of what no longer serves you. Train your spirit to rise above negativity instead of becoming consumed by it. Every challenge is shaping you. Every setback is teaching you. Every difficult person is giving you an opportunity to practice patience, emotional strength, and self-control. The person you are becoming is far more important than the problems you are facing today. Stop chasing approval from people who cannot see your value. Stop explaining yourself to those who have already decided not to understand you. Stop comparing your journey with someone else's timeline. Your life is unique, your purpose is unique, and your path is uniquely yours. Walk it with confidence, even if you must walk it alone for a while. The people who are meant to be part of your life will recognize your authenticity without requiring you to change who you are. Never forget that peace is a choice you make every single day. It is found in the boundaries you set, the thoughts you entertain, the habits you build, and the people you allow into your life. Guard your mind carefully, because whatever controls your thoughts will eventually control your future. Fill your heart with gratitude instead of bitterness. Fill your mind with hope instead of fear. Fill your days with purpose instead of distraction. A peaceful life is not created by accident. It is created by consistent choices made with wisdom and courage. There will always be noise in the world. There will always be criticism, disappointment, uncertainty, and change. You cannot silence every voice around you, but you can strengthen the voice within you. Let that inner voice remind you that your worth does not depend on approval. Your confidence does not depend on circumstances, and your future is not limited by your past. The strongest people are not those who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to let struggle define them. So, from this day forward, make a decision. Decide that your peace is too valuable to be traded for drama. Decide that your happiness is too precious to be controlled by someone else's opinion. Decide that your energy will be invested in your purpose, your growth, and the people who genuinely bring light into your life. Stand tall in your values, remain calm in difficult moments, and keep moving forward with quiet confidence. You do not need to prove your strength to the world. Live it. You do not need to announce your peace. Protect it. You do not need to seek permission to become your best self. Simply begin. The moment you train yourself to be unbothered is the moment you stop surviving and start truly living. You become stronger without becoming harder. You become kinder without becoming weaker. You become wiser without becoming distant. Most importantly, you discover a freedom that no one can give you and no one can take away. Carry that freedom with you every single day and let your life become a living example that true power is not found in controlling the world around you, but in mastering the world within you. Thank you.